It started out as any other normal call for duty.
We sat and waited. Hours. You never know if they're going to need you.
I was expecting to be dismissed.
But then they called me in.
Then they called me in.
I was asked all these questions.
Are you homophobic? Do you watch videos on YouTube?
What kind of tube? The computer is not for me. I was a teacher for 34 years. They found that interesting.
They wanted to know about college. I didn't go to college. Have you ever known someone to commit suicide?
Have you been bullied, or have you bullied?
Do you have kids?
Then I was selected to serve. I knew my boss wasn't going to be happy.
Thank God that wasn't a long trial. Hopefully this deliberation won't be long either. Let's get right to the vote. Help speed things up.
Don't you think we should discuss this first?
And waste more of our time?
Why do you want to rush? This is a serious process.
I want to get home. This trial has taken up enough of my life. Besides, we don't need a unanimous verdict, and I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page here.
You can't possibly know what I'm thinking.
Let's just get to the vote.
It was terrible what happened.
I can't believe they showed us the video. It was all very disturbing.
I didn't want to watch it.
And the rest of us did?
That's not what I meant. It was hard for all of us. Not just that video, the whole trial.
I'll say.
Too bad we can't impose a harsher sentence. A monetary award just seems unjust.
A harsher sentence? This isn't a criminal trial. What do you want, the death penalty?
Yes. Why not? The defendant is liable for the innocent boy's death.
All he did was videotape the guy with another dude.
Must we use
And
such
posted it
language?
online for the entire world to see. You don't find that appalling?
That's not the part I find appalling.
All right. Let's just get back to business. Has everyone voted yet?
I don't think we should. We need to talk about this first. Obviously, there have been some people placed here because of their homophobia.
Don't call me out. You're the guy who wants the kid to fry because you're gay.
I don't think he was saying it because of that.
And if I was, do you know what it's like to be bullied and harassed every day just because you're different? What the defendant did made that innocent young man kill himself. How could that not be warrant for wanting the death penalty?
Because it's like the lawyer said, you can't control what someone else is going to do. The guy didn't know his roommate was going to kill himself over that video. He can't be charged with murder.
Look, everyone bullies. It's part of growing up.
I'm sure you know all about that.
Yeah, so? I was a bully. I used to beat up queers in the park after school. But none of them killed themselves over it.
How do you know?
I think we should get back on track. I've missed enough days of work. If I don't go in, I don't get paid, and I have a family to feed. Let's just vote and see what happens.
Finally, a man with reason.
A woman can have just as much reason as a man, even more so.
Thank you, Maya Angelou.
What's that supposed to mean?
Easy there, fella. It doesn't mean anything.
He's got the problem with gays, and you've got the problem with blacks.
And women.
I never said that. Don't go jumping to conclusions, and don't call me a racist. Now give me your darn vote so we can get the hell out of here. Liable, not liable, not liable, 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 not liable, liable, liable. Not what I expected, but we have enough to proceed. How much should we give the boy's family? A few grand?
You make this whole travesty seem so cavalier. This is about a young boy's life. Surely everyone wants to make sure the family gets the justice they deserve.
Why does everyone want to make this case out to be more than it is? We're not convicting the guy on a murder rap. We have got to stop treating this like a criminal trial. It's not.
Well, it damn well should be. It's messed up that sleaze will never be tried for murder.
And again, it's like a broken record from this one. Look, we're all here for one thing, and one thing only. To decide if the boy's roommate is liable of intentional infliction of emotional distress. Whatever that means.
It means exactly what they told us it means. The defendant, knowing that his roommate was homosexual, deliberately set out to inflict emotional distress upon him by secretly videotaping the young man's private sexual activity and broadcasting it on the internet to see. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that couldn't be any clearer.
Obviously, there are 3 of us who saw that differently.
And it wouldn't take a brain surgeon to figure out which 3 that was.
Just could. Look, the guy was being a guy, okay? Guys do stupid things like that. Doesn't mean he was trying to intentionally inflict some kind of emotional distress on the dead kid.
Why are we arguing this? We have the majority vote that says he's liable. We need to be deciding damages now. That's what we should be discussing.
Okay, how about $1 billion?
Yeah, $1 billion sounds good.
Are you guys nuts? It's not like the kid was going to be president. Come on now, we have to be reasonable.
What's reasonable when it comes to the loss of a life?
I don't know how I could go on if I lost my child. If something like this were to happen, my kids are so young. My husband didn't want children. He said it made no sense to bring kids up in this kind of world. I never agreed with him. I always thought that's exactly why we had to have kids, so that we could teach them to be better people, so they could grow up and change the world. Now, I'm not so sure anymore. Who was right? A boy is dead, and he didn't need to be. He was talented and smart. He had everything going for him, except for the one thing society refused to accept. What does it matter in the grand scheme of things? What did it matter to his roommate?
It mattered enough for the roommate to want to humiliate the boy and to go to unfathomable lengths to do so.
Come on, it didn't. He was just being stupid. It wasn't because the dude was gay.
Of course it was.
We don't know that for sure.
Yes, we do. We were shown evidence that the roommate was harassing the boy because he was gay.
Speculation. Everybody's about this gay crap these days. They need to back off.
It wasn't acceptable to be gay in my day. You just didn't hear of it. Now people are more comfortable with the idea of homosexuals. It's not the mental disease people once thought it was. Still,
One of my nephews is gay. Boy, what a sissy. But the kid ain't so bad.
And you wouldn't be upset if he died because of it?
Of course I would. My sister would be devastated. That's her son no matter what.
Well, there you have it.
No, there we don't have it. In fact, we have nothing, especially an agreed upon damages award. Can we all try and focus on the task? And no more crazy sums of money, okay?
How are we supposed to come to an agreed upon damages award if we don't all agree that the defendant is liable?
By voting. Let's just get some numbers out there and take a vote. This is already taking longer than it should.
This doesn't feel right.
Agreed. Putting a price tag on this sort of thing?
How about 30 grand?
How about 300 grand?
Well, if we're going that high, might as well make it $500,000.
Whoa, for alleged bullying? Now that's extreme.
Bullying that ended a life?
The kid ended his own life. We don't know the bullying had anything to do with that.
9 of us just voted that we did.
And 3 of us did it. Come on, lady. I'm sure everybody in this room's been bullied at some point in their life. But none of us try to kill ourselves over it. It's part of life. You deal with it and you grow up.
I did. I tried to kill myself once. I couldn't take how mean the kids were to me anymore. I felt alone. I felt my life was going to be filled with struggle after struggle. So I took some pills. I took a lot of pills. Then I went to bed. But I woke up. I was in counseling a long time after that.
My parents kept a very close eye on me. I told them. I felt I had to since the attempt to kill myself failed. You can't just say that all kids are mean and that's the nature of things. It's not the nature of things. Parents sit back and excuse their children's bad behavior all the time. Oh, they're just kids. They're just kids. Well, that doesn't cut it. I was tortured to the point where I tried to take my own life. Actions have consequences. Words hurt. They do. You can sit there all you want and think about how your bullying never hurt anyone, but you'll never know that for sure. You'll never know if one of those queers went home one day and killed themselves because they could no longer take being tortured for being someone or something they couldn't control. What the defendant did caused that kid to kill himself. You may not want to see it that way because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that, in part, you may be responsible for someone's death. You huff and you puff all you want. You can sit there and pretend that you're this big macho man and you can try to bully us all you want, but it's not going to work. Not anymore. We may not be able to sentence this guy to death, and courts may say he can't be tried for murder. But no matter how you want to slice it, this guy is responsible for that boy's death. We have the opportunity here to set precedent, and we should not shy away from it. These types of crimes will be punished. Consequences will finally be handed out to those who have done wrong. Is there ever a price value you can put on a life? No. There never will be. But there is a price value that we can put on a crime that seldom gets punished. 3 of you in this room feel that the roommate did nothing wrong. The rest of us can't change your mind, and because we don't need to be unanimous, we're not going to try. But we are going to award this boy's family with an amount of money that says that their son's death was not in vain. Any less from us would be a disservice.
You people are freaking insane. Over an online video.
Which causes boy's death.
Causes death.
All right. Let's just write out some numbers and we'll see what happens. We, the jury, having found the defendant's actions to be heinous and reprehensible, award the plaintiff compensatory damages in the sum of...
Robert Greene Ingersoll once said, "We must remember
that we have to make judges out of men,
and that by being made judges,
their prejudices are not diminished,
and their intelligence is not increased.
Furthermore, we, the jury, award the plaintiff punitive damages in the sum of...
In the end, the compensation did not matter.
It could be $1.
Or it could be $1 million.
A young man is dead by his own hand.
He was not the first.
And sadly, he will not be the last.
Though we came to a consensus on what to award the plaintiff, we did not all walk away with one mind. It is foolish to think otherwise. In Harper Lee's Pulitzer-winning novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch states, "The one thing that does not abide by majority rule is a person's conscience."
So say we.